It has been ages since I have made an update on the hero tier ranking. The last time I made one, we still had formations within the game, and strategy wasn't completely dead yet. Anyways, I might be overreacting a little bit. In this video, I will rank every gold hero within the game, going from Generation 1 to Generation 13. For new players, Gen 1 and Gen 13 are basically the same, but still different. In today's part, we will discuss the hunters. And if you are hunting for great prizes on bundles in State of Survival and you just started playing the game, make sure to download the game through the Amazon AppStore. And you might be wondering why? Pretty simple. By using the Amazon AppStore, you can save a lot of money. They have the best discounts when it comes to packs in State of Survival, and if you want to grow faster, a great store in State of Survival is crucial. Amazon AppStore is currently available in the following countries. Besides these European countries, Amazon AppStore is also available in the United States of America, Australia and Japan. Make sure to scan the code on your screen or use the link in the description so you can start saving money, and this way you also support my channel a little bit. Thank you Amazon AppStore for sponsoring this video. And the hunter hero of Generation 1 isn't necessarily a hero that I would purchase. Don't get me wrong, she is definitely better than the purple heroes, but her skills are simply not good enough to put her any higher than the E or the D tier. Last time I put her in the E tier, but I'm going to bump her up today to the D tier, simply because you will need her in the future for Limitless heroes. But keep in mind, if you are a player on Gen 1 right now, Limitless Lucky is 2.5 years away for you. On Trap she is god awful, so I don't see much use for Lucky. And unfortunately, Gen 2 isn't much better. Jeb arrives 7 weeks within the game, and luckily he is replaced 6 weeks after. If the worst hunter hero award was a thing in State of Survival, Jeb would win a lot of prizes. Unfortunately, not for the better. Jeb is clear E tier material for me, because his skills are simply not good enough for PvP, somewhat okay for trap, but definitely not great, and Jeb is overall just E tier material. On Generation 3 it gets a little better. As I mentioned, Zoe comes into the game after 13 weeks, and skill wise she is definitely one of the better hunter heroes early on, which isn't a huge accomplishment given the fact who she is competing with. She definitely replaces Jeb as your trap hunter hero. Now, around this time you should also get resonating heroes. And as of yet, we have 2 resonating hunter heroes, Mikoto and Aoi. Daryl plays basketball apparently, but don't worry, he will come later into the video.
Get back to work.
Keep in mind that both heroes have to be level 4 for to be somewhat useful. For PvP, Aoi is the better hero than Mikoto, but it's very close. Both are skill-wise not amazing, but at least one of them is somewhat useful. Mikoto's skills are actually perfect for Influencer Trap. If she is level 4, just resonate her to your strongest stat hunter hero, and boom, you should see a jump on your damage. For PvP, however, Aoi is the better option than Mikoto. I'm going to put Mikoto in the C tier for her trap usage, and Aoi in the D tier because she is somewhat useful in PvP and better than heroes such as Jeb. Gen 4 gets introduced at 26 weeks, and Tyler is unfortunately not very good. Skill-wise, he is simply pretty weak, and in comparison to the next generation's hunter hero, he simply doesn't stand any chance. I want to put him in the D tier simply because he can be used on trap. Now keep in mind that Mikoto is still a better hero for trap, but Tyler isn't an awful choice to use. Gen 5 is where the fun begins. Roxy comes in the game after 38 weeks, and I don't think I have to tell you that Roxy is definitely S tier. Until Gen 12, your go-to hero for garrisoning, and literally unmatched skill-wise before Limitless heroes. She's not good on trap, because the rounds on trap aren't long enough for Roxy to shine. Now that really doesn't stop me from putting her in the S tier, because Roxy is one of a kind. Does that mean you can attack with Roxy when you are in the Limitless stages? No, because this tier ranking is based on the skills of heroes and not on their stats. Anyways, Gen 6 comes into play after 50 weeks of state age. It is such a shame that Luca comes right after Roxy, because people truly don't appreciate appreciate him enough. Luca is skill-wise a really good hero, but due to the fact that Roxy is so great skill-wise, she gets picked over him in the recommendations for PvP. Now, Luca truly shines in garrisoning. In combination with Magnus, if the enemy doesn't have Joker, the combo Magnus-Luca is really good. I'm not going to put Luca in the S tier, but I do think he truly deserves the A tier. Besides all of that, he is also a very decent trap hero. After 62 weeks, Gen 7's Grimm gets introduced. And I honestly don't want to talk a lot about Grimm, because there isn't really much to talk about. Skill-wise, pretty bad hero. Trap, trash. It's quite simple for me. Grimm belongs in the E tier. Gen 8 arrives at 74 weeks. And overall, Gen 8 is a very good generation and definitely up there as one of the best in State of Survival. Tina is an elite hunter hero. Skill-wise, very usable in PvP and also a pretty good trap hero. She just comes short for the S tier for me, but Tina definitely has her place in the A tier. Gen 9 arrives at 74 weeks and is the exact opposite of Gen 8. Garbage.
She looked like she had never seen anything quite so horrible in all her life.
Arthur doesn't come close to Tina's abilities, and only when Arthur is fully maxed he will beat Tina. On trap he has some use, but overall just not a great hero. Arthur is D tier material for me. Gen 10's Connor arrives at 98 weeks and is again a pretty decent hunter hero. Connor is definitely A tier for me, and for free to play, low spenders and mid spenders you can easily survive Gen 10 and Gen 11 with Connor. And unless you are a main rally leader, I wouldn't bother with Gen 11 at all. Scope comes into play after 110 weeks and is for me up there as one of the worst hunter heroes in State of Survival. I don't think I have to say much else. Scope goes straight into the E tier, and honestly the exact same applies for Gen 12's Codi. I don't really understand the obsession of people with Codi, but she is a god awful hunter hero. I forgot to mention another resonating hunter hero. Daryl is no longer available within the game because it was an exclusive collaboration. Now, throughout the video you may have noticed that a lot of hunter heroes are not really amazing. Daryl is not necessarily a bad hero, but he's also not on the level of heroes like Roxy or Luca. He is definitely a better hero than the worst heroes. Therefore, Daryl belongs in the C category. Remember that I said that Lucky would come back in the future? That is now. After Gen 12, the Gen 1 heroes get rejuvenated and they get new skills. So for hunters, that is Lucky again. And well, it's fair to say that Lucky's rejuvenated skills are insanely strong. And in comparison to basically every other hunter hero, Lucky has to be in the S tier. It will be interesting to see in the future how Jeb Limitless will do, as right now his original hero is in the E category. If they continue this trend of limitless heroes, I would assume that Jeb Limitless would also end up in the S category. Anyways, that will be all from me for today. If you want to see the infantry heroes and the rider heroes later this week, make sure to slap the like button. Thank you for watching and bye!